Nairobi 2027.
Who are the people who vote? They're the people in the slums majorly. They're the ones who have the political questions. Middle class people don't have political questions per se because they're not yet a critical mass.
Nairobi decides who wins. In 2027, Ruto's path to State House may lie in Raila's hands. In the heart of Kenya's political battlefield lies Nairobi with 2.4 million registered voters, a melting pot of tribes, classes, and ideologies. The capital doesn't just vote, it sets the tone for the entire nation. And this time, the game has changed. Ruto and Raila are shaking hands. If their cooperation holds, Nairobi's long-standing urban opposition resistance may shatter, bringing unexpected momentum to Ruto's re-election campaign. But how and why now? In the last general election, that is in 2022, Raila Odinga clinched 767,000 votes in Nairobi against William Ruto's 561,000. That gave a margin of over 200,000 votes. Yet fast forward to 2025, protests have shifted, loyalties wavered, and political lines are blurring. Nairobi is no longer just an ODM stronghold. Here is the structure. When comparing middle class to slum dwellers, you establish 60% of Nairobi's resides in informal settlements like Makadara, Kibra, Mukuru. This is the critical mass. They vote in high numbers when mobilized. Out of 17 constituencies in Nairobi, Azimio won 10 MP seats in 2022. UDA officially won only 4, including Roysambu, Embakasi Central, Dagoretti South, and Embakasi North. Notably, Lang'ata, Mathare, Embakasi, among others, went to ODM, while Kasarani elected an independent candidate. These facts refute the narrative that ODM or Azimio swept all 17 seats. Now, Azimio is no longer there, so meaning ODM is standing alone, and it will lose some seats. For UDA, it has broken ranks with Gachagua, meaning some seats that UDA got because of Gachagua will definitely be lost. So let's face the reality. The ones you see on the screen right now are the critical mass. The Ruto-Raila détente is not cosmetic, it is strategic. But I know some may dismiss and assert Nairobi's voters are informed, educated, and independent thinkers. But with all that, they forget real politics is at the grassroots, that is in Nairobi's informal settlements. Ethnic mobilization here is central. It will definitely play a role, in fact a significant one. Achieving a paradigm shift where Nairobi voters will be ideological will only happen when a majority of Nairobi middle class becomes a critical mass. Simple, Nairobi slum dwellers are the ones that matter to Ruto and Raila. Now, here is the strategy for Raila and Ruto. First, co-opt the urban protest vote. Raila's support has always relied on anti-government sentiment in Nairobi, but now with the Raila supporting Ruto, street protests are definitely going to wane and wane. This opens a psychological window for Ruto to penetrate former opposition zones with Raila on his side. Raila, Wetangula, and Mudavadi will keep the Luo-Luhya vote in Nairobi slum intact. Where Luos put their votes, Luyas too do so. Having their leaders work together will definitely strengthen Ruto's grip on Nairobi's vote. This doesn't make sense to the middle class in Lavington, but in politics and politicians, it is plausible. Grassroots economics. Ruto is deploying bottom-up economics through hustler fund expansion, affordable housing projects in vote-rich slums, and SME credit schemes targeting informal areas. These bread and butter issues are aimed at urban poor, not Twitter elites. Also, the president is pushing Nyota, that is, National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement project that targets thousands of young people in informal settlements that will soften their hearts, allay anger that emerged during protests, and make Ruto a workaholic and a people-centered president keen on the issues that matter to the hustlers in Nairobi slums. Digital data targeting. His 2022 campaign used psychometric data via SMS and social platforms to target Nairobi youth. Expect AI-driven voter behavior models in 2027. Pushing tailored messages to first-time voters, especially in slums where Raila's dominance is significantly intact. Raila is still king there, and science-backed data proves that despite the current anti-Raila Ruto rhetoric. ODM will make a promise. ODM will speak to the hearts of the critical mass, underscore the impact of affordable housing and Ruto's commitment to addressing their issues. Raila will get into the hearts of this mass, give the promise of people-centered government, promise to deliver what wasn't delivered. He will speak to their hearts, and the word of their king will prevail, and Ruto will have the vote. That is the strategy. But will it work? If the Raila-Ruto working relationship holds, opposition energy against Ruto from Raila in Nairobi will collapse, youth protest and anger are neutralized as Raila and Ruto warm up to the hustlers, listen to them more. Ruto wins Raila's Nairobi presidential votes, and even if he loses parliamentary ones, ODM ones are still his. Let's simulate. Raila maintains his fan base, actively campaigns for Ruto. Ruto gains 800,000 new urban votes from Raila due to high turnout, earns by himself 300,000. This will give him victory in Nairobi, clearing his path to re-election. With increased turnout in Rift Valley, Mount Kenya East consolidation, Luo and Luya dominance, and Nairobi's vote shift could be decisive. With all that said, make no mistake, Nairobi voters are not naive. Ruto's strategy will only work if matched with tangible progress in service delivery, jobs, water, housing, and dignity in slums restored before 2027. Still, with Raila on his side, the psychological firewall is somewhat broken, so it has to be fixed. 2027 may not be about party versus party, but about coalition versus confusion. In Nairobi, it is not who shouts the loudest, it is who understands the slums, listens to the youth, and builds trust one handshake at a time. This is just another day with Owen.